I'm sensing a trend going on. Yep, another one. Another one. Another man of the cloth in the dome with a pepper ball. And then going back to this priest who was also in the dome with the pepper ball. That's two men of the cloth now. So in other words, people who are religious leaders and disabled people are not untouchable by this. Is this what you voted for? Okay, so I don't want to. I'm gonna keep the audio down because there's expletives being thrown around here, but crowd is chanting at ICE agents. ICE agents respond by snatching up man down there, and as you can see from the text, he is legally blind. Now, apparently, he was snatched up, I believe, the night before, because they were claiming he was blocking the driveway. This time, as he puts it, he was more careful with where he was sitting, but that still happened. He did go to the hospital afterwards, multiple bruises. I think he's more or less okay physically, but from the sound of it, he is incredibly traumatized. I have to ask you, is this what you voted for? I don't know. I don't know what will happen in our near future, but what I do know is if this can happen to them, then what will happen to the rest of us? Did you vote for this? I have one more thought. Bear with me. Bear with me. I'm going to show you footage of cattle farmers in the U.S., ranchers, and their response to Donald Trump recently. If you don't know, now you know. Trump administration wants to lower prices of beef, and they want to do so by importing beef from Argentina. Note, U.S. ranchers are not happy about it. I want to show you some footage now. Here we go.
So I'm in Argentina, in cattle country, a couple hours outside Buenos Aires. I'm at a small ranch, which is actually a breeding operation. They help other bigger ranches improve the genetic stock of their cattle. And I interviewed the owner of this operation, whose name is Martin Vivanco, and he said that he's thrilled about the idea of the U.S. dramatically increasing imports of Argentinian beef, which is something Donald Trump has said he wants to do. Martin said that that would be really good for business and that Argentinian beef producers have for a long time aspired to a bigger share of the American market. He also said something else interesting, which is that the beef that's produced here that goes back to the States is not generally mass market stuff that winds up on supermarket shelves. It's really high quality cuts that go to restaurants and caterers, hotels, high-end buyers. And that's because the beef here is just really high quality. It's all like this, like what you see behind me, free-range, grass-fed. The conditions here are perfect for raising really high-quality cattle. So it's not likely that these increased exports from here to the U.S. are actually going to really help the American consumer that much. They'll definitely help Argentinian cattle ranchers and exporters. On the other hand, U.S. cattle ranchers are very much not happy about this idea. And my colleague, Rosa Flores, has been talking to some of them in Nebraska.
I'm Rosa Flores in Hershey, Nebraska. I spoke with 5 cattle ranchers in this area. They're all Republican. They all support President Donald Trump. And they say that they support a lot of his policies. They believe in America first. But they say that they don't agree with the president on everything. In fact, if I were to summarize all the conversations I had into one message from these cattle ranchers, I would say that they believe that the federal government should stay out of their business. They believe in free enterprise.
I agree with him on a lot of his issues, but on this issue, I would disagree with trying to, obviously do anything to lower the price of beef to the beef producers. On the other side of it, you would like to see, a cheaper food supply for the consumer, but not necessarily at the expense of the producer.
So in essence, President Trump don't interfere in the market?
Well, we don't. We appreciate all he does, but being in the market is probably not something we're very anxious to have the government in.
Some Republican lawmakers use the words strongly concerned to describe this move by the president. There's a rancher in Wyoming who used the word betrayed. The ranchers that I talked to here in Nebraska say that's too strong of a word. They say they would use disagreement. They say they don't have beef with the president. They just disagree with him on this.
So a thought is playing in my head more and more. You've heard those cattle ranchers, especially that second one. They appreciate all that he does, or at least most of, but they disagree with him on the beef thing. You saw the footage before with the protesters and ICE. And I can't help but think about this. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. But in this case, and then eventually directly as well. We know what type of person this is. We have known for a long time. We've known for decades. And the actions we have seen recently in different areas with different policies and different decisions have all added up to the same thing. So I am not here to poke fun, even though it is humorous. I am here to shine light on this thought and seeing the various injustices stemming from one decision, one person. Question is, can you realize that, own up to it, and help us make it better? Watch The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Watch that movie. You'll see what I mean. Watch it. Watch his character. Watch where he starts and where he ends up. Okay? It's okay to be wrong. Okay? And I don't mean to say it in like a ha ha ha, you're wrong. I don't mean to say it like that. I mean, you could think one thing about somebody and then go, oh, oopsie poopsie, even though it's been evidence for years. But hey, and then realize, oh man, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Just because they are nice to the people you deem it is okay for them to be nice to at the time does not mean that that person is nice to everybody by far. And that action should be a red flag. I'll leave you at that, and we will talk later.